had it on and see how some individual guys did. But just, so many penalties and things like that, I think it sort of makes it hard to evaluate where we are.
Spurrier not happy, no turnovers produced by the defense in 90 plays.
You can't hit quarterbacks. I don't know how you turn the ball over. Now, we're not tackling that well. I agree. But when you can't hit quarterbacks, that's where all your turnovers come from. Bad throws, passes you can break on and pick off. But if you don't touch quarterbacks, then you can't touch them. And that's just part of the game. So when you hit quarterbacks, maybe you get some turnovers. I think our offense has done a good job taking care of the ball when they run with it. We're not creating any fumbles, and that tells you ain't real physical. But had a lot of turnovers on execution. We're not causing those. So that is, and I think that's very true. But it's probably the second time we've tackled. Maybe I think it's the third time we've tackled, and obviously we don't tackle very well.
Are you tackling enough?
Only the great ones can do it once a week and be good at it.
Are you tackling enough in practice, you think?
Well, we never practice tackle enough. How much is enough? And you can't get injuries and things. But I think we've had a little scrimmage the other day for about 15 minutes, and then we had one inside drill. But when you go back and look at each kid, probably about 25 of them never tackled a college running back. So that's where it shows up.
Do you have starting defensive ends yet?
But no question, it's two, Melvin and
what about Jadavian? Is he close?
He's doing super one-on-one. I mean, they very seldom block him one-on-one, but he's got 2 offsides today, and we're trying to work a lot of our stuff, with our zone pressures and things, and he's still learning those. You just got to have time. Everybody wants him to come in here and start the second day and all that. He's got to have time to learn the scheme and get lined up, and he's making a lot of mental mistakes, and so are all the freshmen. But he's got 2 sacks today too. I guess you call them sacks. He had two touches, but he just nobody blocks him one-on-one. But the game is more than one-on-one.
How does he tackle? How does he tackle?
Well, I don't know, because he can't hit quarterbacks. Who knows? I mean, he was a very aggressive player in high school, so I know he tries to be physical. He's made some good tackles on backs up the box.
How has the injury to Bryson changed the depth back there at the safety spots?
I don't think we have an answer yet. I think it's a big hole. We'll have to look at the film today and see if anybody maybe answered the bell. Would be a possibility, but he was really pushing Jimmy, and both of them were making each other better. In fact, Bryson was making some plays Jimmy can't make. Maybe not quite as consistent, but that was a huge blow in football, and we probably won't be the last one we'll have. But we got a major problem back there with depth and numbers.
What's going on at Spur?
Antonio's playing pretty well, having a good camp. Devontae cannot play the first game, and Morbro can't play the first game. So we just moved Dietrich Marcus 2 days ago, so he really doesn't know what. He lined up wrong 3 times today, gave up some plays, but he's a good player. I think if he learns how to line up, maybe that's his home, maybe he can play there. He was one kid we thought could move in and play safety, so now we're really buying right now. We put him back there and compete for free safety, or we leave him at Spur. And with all those kids being held out the first game, Hampton also, that's 3 more DBs that cannot play the first game. So we got down the line problems, and we've got a major consideration for that first game. We got to get 11 guys ready to roll.
That's kind of scary against a team that throws the ball as well as East Carolina.
Obviously, they run a fast tempo, and then guys got to cover a bunch of kicks and punts too.
Who played a free behind Jimmy today?
Right now, it's kind of a scramble. We moved Golightly over there, and he's working both a little bit, but Golightly was behind him.
Coach, can I get you to comment on the possible addition of Texas A&M and other teams to the Southeastern Conference?
Oh, I don't know. That stuff's way beyond me. I think it's something that's coming down the line, whether it's in 3 months or 3 years, there's going to be another mega shift. There's no question about that. And whether they come in this conference or don't come in this conference, I don't think it makes our life any easier.
Does it say something about the conference overall?
I don't know anybody to say anything else about the SEC. I mean, I'm sure there are teams who think maybe it's not a good idea to get in the snake pit, and there are other teams who think we better get in there in the money pit. So that's their decisions. I don't know who we're trying to get. I've seen all the stuff in the paper just like y'all have. But I do think it's coming. I mean, I don't think it's not just going to be an SEC. I think what will happen eventually, there'll be four mega conferences. Winners will play each other, and the other ones will play, and they'll say it's a national championship playoff. Hopefully we can still go to bowl games, because I like bowl games.
Clemson, do you think that would make the game more intense, the in-state rivalry, if it could also be a conference game?
I don't think it'd make it any more intense. I think think it has its own special flavor. I don't think it'd make any difference.
Could you live in an SEC East if Auburn and Alabama moved over to the East? I mean, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Clemson.
It does make it harder because you couldn't pick the other 3 games. You know, you probably play 8 conference games or 9, and maybe even 10. So it would make it a little bit more difficult for everybody. But you know, it's not something that matters to us because we're not going to be able to control it, and I think money runs everything. So, but it's going to happen one day.
What about the D tackle spot next to Travian? What sort of things do you see today from those guys?
Jared, I don't know about today. Jaredo's been having a good camp, and Kelsey's been having a good camp, and Aldrich's been playing very well. I don't, if you know, pulled the trigger right now, I'm not sure what Brad would say. I know they'd all probably play pretty equally, including Travian. Travian, you know, would get some rotation and reps from those guys. So I think those 4 we're in pretty good shape, and there's some young ones that are really getting better. Surratt's had a pretty good camp. He's made some strides. He's come a long way from where he was last year. The freshmen have, you know, it's tough on them in that interior, but they've shown some good things, and they're all getting better too.
How long are you expecting Dukes to be out?
I don't know how serious that is. I think it's just a sprain. But by the time he gets back,
he'll be development, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, anytime they miss, if you're a freshman, you miss 2 or 3 weeks, you're way behind. You may be able to get back in the mix in 6 weeks, and then we won't want to do it because we want to get a red shirt for him, if that's what happens. If he gets back 2 or 3 days, you know, he might get back in the hunt. But it's going to be tough for any of those freshmen to unseat those 4 I told you about. They're just good football players and very experienced. And when they're out there, our linebackers play pretty well. And when they're not out there, it's tough duty.
Yeah, linebackers still inclined to go with Shaq and Rodney at this point in terms of start.
If I had to play tomorrow, I'd put Rodney at Mike, Shaq at Will, and then start rotating after that. I also feel like Shaq might be the best Mike. And if you start to get more and more improvement at the Will backer, there may be another combination. Today I started Rodney and Shaq. In the first 8 plays, everything was glued together. And started through that next rotation. And I didn't see anything the linebackers did wrong, but it wasn't nearly as quick, and the operation wasn't as good. So, you know, they're definitely more experienced. They've had a real good camp. Rodney's knee is healed. Had a little soreness in it the other day, so I cut his reps. So, I mean, I don't think either one of them are going to play 60, 70 snaps. You know, and I think we've got good players. Quinn got a concussion today, so he couldn't. I don't know how many reps he got before he had to come. It's not serious, but you're very, very cautious about those now. So he didn't get but about 2 series, and when I say a series, I think he got less than 10 plays. And so that concerned me, and I didn't get a good evaluation on him. DeMario's had a pretty good camp. Taquavius has improved a lot. A little bit behind those guys.
What about Cedric Cooper?
Last question.
Coop's had a pretty good camp. He made 2 big mistakes right here at the end. I know it was 3s versus 3s on that last drive, but he made 2 major mistakes and gave up a touchdown there. He's just still learning. Physically now, he's going to be a really good football player. Just going to take him a while to learn what we're doing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.